welcome back to another episode of Toby Talks. And this sort of episode is going to be. I actually got this idea from a friend. It's going to be on letting go. Now I know I did a video similar in subject, but this is just going to be about the letting go process and not about like all the rest of the stuff. So yeah, let's get into it. Letting go, man. It can be really hard. It can be really hard sometimes. Whether it be a death in the family, you break up with someone breaks up with you. Um, you lose a job. You get fired from a job. Um, it, it can be rough. It can be really rough sometimes, especially if you had an attachment to that thing, or if you've been doing that, whatever job it was, for a long time, you know. And I just want to help some people kind of get through that and learn that it gets better. It gets better, but only if you want to. Only if you want it to get better. It's like change. Change doesn't happen unless you want to change. You know, and it's an amazing thing actually. Um, Now, letting go is never easy. I don't want to make any of you guys think that letting go is not easy at all. Uh, Especially if you had an emotional connection to whatever it was. Um, I'd say it's kind of like breaking an addiction. I'd say, in the way that you want to relapse, but you can't, because that would just tank all your progress. And like, I had a friend struggle with this. He really liked this girl, and she was just met playing with him. But you know how guys get when they really like a girl. Um, they they start they don't start, what's it called? They get really connected really fast, and that's something that not a lot of females do. Usually, like now, it's 2025, they'll have a roster of like 6 or 7 guys. Um, and like that's just not how guys operate. Some guys, I don't know. Some guys are weird, but um, yeah, that's just not how guys operate. And it really sucked because he was on this for like months and months on end. Um, he would he would talk about her, and we knew what was up, but he was just blinded by his love, and he didn't want to let go. This is what this video is about. He didn't want to let go, and so finally, she like kept moving weird, and he finally got the self-respect to let go. And that it's good for both parties, honestly, because on one end, one won't get hurt. On the other end, um, what's it called? You know, they can do what they want without hurting anybody or hurting someone. And I'm proud of him for doing that. Because letting go is never easy, especially if it's something romantic or in a romantic opportunity. And I had to struggle with this myself too, um, multiple times. But and it doesn't get easier, because it's a person you care about, or it's a thing you care about. And in order for change to happen, I've learned that you have to let go of stuff, um, or else you'll remain the same. And like the way I look at it is, if okay, so say you let go of a relationship, or like say you don't want to let go of it, and you keep dwelling on it, you're really never gonna change, and you're really never gonna actually let go. You're just gonna be out of that relationship. You'll still have feelings for that person, and they'll move on to other people, because that's how it works. Not everything goes according to plan, and I learned that too. But there's always light in the dark. Letting go brings new opportunities. It brings new joy. It brings a lot of new things, and really, like, sometimes you, you don't want it to happen, but sometimes it has to happen. And you know, it's all in your plan. I believe that our destinies are predetermined, and what we go through is predetermined, to help us grow as individuals for, whatever's after this. Because man, life is short, man. Life is short. So why dwell on something that you could easily let go of? You know what I'm saying? Like, go experience things. Go meet new people. Now, am I saying be a hoe? No. Um, but I am saying be the light in someone's dark. And I think being the light in someone's dark and being able to help them is well worth letting go of whatever you had. That's how I see it. And you can do that. Anybody can do that. It's just up to you. Up to you to make that change, and up to you to finally just let go. Because all you're doing is hurting yourself, really. If you keep dwelling on it, eventually that person or that thing's gonna move on, and you're just gonna end up more hurt than you already were. So do your best, man. Do your best. Do your best to let go and do what makes you happy. Be yourself. Find yourself. Because a lot of you guys are young. A lot of you guys that watch me are 16, 17, 18, my age. And a lot of you still need to find yourself. And you can't really find yourself until you've let go of the past you. And I genuinely think that's true. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that's really true, actually. You're not gonna. It's like, okay, it's like molting. You know how an animal changes itself every predetermined day. I don't know the exact details, but it changes its skin. And it grows, and I think that's really what letting go is like. I feel like you're molting into a new skin, whenever you let go of something. I feel like sometimes it can be a turning point, and that kind of brings it back to the molting example that I gave. It's a beautiful thing, really. It may not feel like a beautiful thing, trust me. It may not feel like a beautiful thing, but it is. Because you get to change yourself for the better. Now, I'm not saying you can't change yourself for the worse when you let go, because you can make wrong decisions, but there's always room for it. There's always room to be a better person, always room for, improvement, dog. Like, I'm just being honest. And like, if you don't want to change, that's fine, right? You're just not going to grow. And it's okay to not change for a little while, but occasionally, you need to grow as a person, and you need to mature. And I think that letting go is being mature, and overall just being, like, growing as a person. And that's kind of what this channel is about, really. It's about it's kind of like documenting my growth. And if it gets views, it gets views. But if it doesn't, that's okay too. It's really like a journal, for sorta. I mean, if my journal was online and it was for helping people, but that's beside the point. You just want to let go, and you don't want, like, you may not want to let go, but you need to let go, because if it wasn't meant to happen, it wasn't meant to happen. And if y'all weren't meant to be, why dwell on that? If it just was simply not meant to be, you know? And I think that's really what it boils down to. If you have to let go of it, then it wasn't meant to be. And that's sort of all I have to say today. Hope y'all are having an amazing Thanksgiving break. And yeah, y'all have an amazing night. And yeah, so yeah.